Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting match. Another Propagandacast. It's going to be off to a running start if Fraps allows it. There we go. Looks stable for now, and again, apologies for this, but I'm a bit rushed as of late, so a lot of things coming together in one nasty time, and I only have so much time to devote to your eyes and ears propaganda. So I hope you can forgive me, my dear viewers. Of course, there's also the slight chance I'm just being lazy, but I don't think so. Otherwise, I, don't cast it daily. Who shall we be finding here in the southern corner? We are seeing Piwavsky fighting for the elite, Panzer Elite. In this case, let's say, I don't know, what shall they represent? 106 Panzer Brigades. For some reason, I just like the Panzer Brigades, which is such an old formation. Again, I'm pretty convinced the Panzer Elite was actually sort of centered around those as well, not just the sort of Kampfgruppen of Market Guard, but actually the Panzer Brigade, which took part there, but also later sort of doing the Lorraine fighting bit. So yes, this will sort of be Alsace-Lorraine area now. Opposing him shall be Don't Come Following Me of the 4th Infantry Division. We are seeing a dual Kettenkrad start actually from Piwavsky, quite interesting, and we are seeing Scorched Earth right off the bat as well, immediately booby-trapping points with his Kettenkrads. This is not a usual sort of strategy, I see. And bags for Don't Come Following Me going up as well, flashing out there. We are seeing a pretty intensive 4 engineer start as well, so I mean both sides are adapting for, taking a lot of territories fast as possible, but Piwavsky, with a slight detail, he's also booby-trapping it to sort of make it harder for the other chap to take it. Quite interesting, not what I usually see. Points being taken. Kettenkrad getting pushed off. 3rd Panzer Grenadier team ready so far. No real huge engagements, but there we go. Engineers coming under fire. Rifleman ready for Don't Come Following Me. Piwavsky being a reasonably high rank player, I don't think Don't Come Following Me is a smurf of some sort. Engineers getting hunted down. Panzer Grenadier moving out. As for company views too, well, there's been nothing really as of yet. Been a bit quiet since the sort of huge thing coming out. We've been seeing some minor comments from Quinn Duffy regarding like how, in fact, there's actually quite a bit of the original team still working on Company Furious 2, which has been the concern of some people. But also sort of how much background research they've done to sort of get the right atmosphere. I think my tongue is slightly swollen. I might have bitten on it accidentally. How bothersome. So my apologies if I suddenly sound a bit odd. That's the swollen tongue. Feels a bit awkward.
Attention, the enemy advances.
Well, swollen in one time. Yeah, let's not get caught up in that. Small engagement here between Panzer Grenadiers and Riflemen. Not looking good for the Panzer Grenadiers though. Getting hunted down by the Riflemen. They're joining up with other Panzer Grenadiers. This is good. Here the Engineers. Not looking good for the Americans. Down they go, the 4th Infantry Division Engineers. And note, American Engineers were not really this sort of thing like Pioneers, which was, sort of assault troops and elite infantry. They were more sort of, engineers, and they were sort of infantry afterwards. I mean, they were rarely used as that. And usually only when the sort of rifle battalions had been sort of lost out. Well, drained out. Rather than getting hunted down. And usually I think one case was doing sort of Operation Nordwind, doing this sort of same fighting at the Ardennes, where one sort of engineer battalion or company was used as reserve infantry to sort of take over the place of regular infantry to sort of support an armored push. That's not very nice. Let's not idiots. You are. Anyways, no, let's not get caught in that, but still, it didn't go well for either the engineers or the armor. Both got beaten up. Panzer pushed back due to heavy fire. Engineers can do quite a bit of damage again, note. Grease guns do as much damage as MP40s. Difference is they're not quite accurate. At least that's engineers and pioneer weapons. Coming under quite a bit of fire here from the church. More Panzers moving up. This could be a bit of a problem for the Americans. Flamethrower engineers are arriving. They will need to target these down first, otherwise things will get very combustible. And there will be some very sauerkrauts indeed. My apologies for the puns. Riflemen charging right into all of this. Panzers have to be careful taking heavy losses. We are seeing an infantry comfortable company going up. Riflemen could be going down. Oh, yes, Rifleman squad down. Panzers though not doing well either. And then, oh, it's an absolute massacre right here by the cemetery. Too bad the Undertaker is nowhere to be seen, although I'm sure he'll be having a field day. Riflemen moving up here on in the east and the west.
To confound the enemy.
Further advances. Kittenkrad could be running into a bit of trouble here. And Riflemen getting hit from both sides by the Panzers, although the Panzer grenades are not in good condition. There we go. Down to one man. Rückzug, Männer. Rückzug. There. Damn tongue. Failing me at this very moment. More Riflemen pushing in, and already a bit of veterans here, but these Panzers desperately need to get out. They are not in a good condition. They are what you in fact call a bad condition. At the same time, Panzer Support Company going up. No infantry half-tracks. What could he be up to? What could Piwavsky be Piwavskying about? Points being retaken. Deaths being delivered. And let's just speed this up a bit.
Enemy forces are attacking our petrol depot.
And there we go. Of course, Kittenkrad booby traps being actually pretty slow. Only one man down to 2 booby traps. That's not bad, but no real engagements. Missing a Panzer Support Command upgrade. He's not going into a tank half-track. What could he be up to? Kittenkrad down. Panzer pushing forward, so let's return to regular speed. Booby traps going off again. More dashing push with Panzer guns equipped with Gewehr 43s. The semi-automatic rifle of choice by the Wehrmacht. Of course, the only one they really had. Although some were known to use the SVT-40, which was a Soviet semi-automatic rifle, which I believe was also the sort of basis for the Gewehr 43. Further harassment from the American commander of the 4th Infantry Division. Don't come following me. Following in some booby traps, but quite definitely dodging them again. Kittenkrad booby traps not effective. Panzer booby traps, on the other hand, work much faster. Oh, Panzer Grenadier got killed by his own booby trap, and they got all pushed into the river. Riflemen though do also take some Colossus. Another booby trap goes off, and they do get out there in time, but oh dear. Heavy losses on both sides as the Panzer Brigade desperately tries to hold this small village, a vital road junction in the fight for some town. We are seeing armor cars coming out, and what are we seeing for Piwavsky? He's going straight for the Panzer IV. Apparently the Panzer Brigade has not yet actually gotten access to some Panzers, but has to rely on some older Panzer IVs pulled in from some other unit.
The enemy has moved against one of Germany's victory points.
These tanks though would have been there by Operation Barbarossa, and that was sort of when they really shined, I suppose. Later on, of course, they were replaced with these sort of longer barrel ones, like the ones we know from the Wehrmacht, with armored skirts and everything. That's not to say they didn't have any anti-tank capabilities. In fact, they got some heat rounds, which did alright, but again, they were replaced because, again, that stubby little gun is not really going to get high velocity on its rounds, meaning it can't really do that much damage in the long run. But the Panzer IV infantry support tank was really the sort of original incarnation and was actually the purpose infantry support. So, fun little fact there. Panzer's running into a bit of trouble. Others are moving up, but they're going to be quite outmanned, outnumbered. Armored car Greyhound not really managing a lot. Though, of course, a Panzer IV is going to be a bit of a problem to a Greyhound. What with a 75mm gun and actual armor, whereas the armored car's going to have a bit of a trouble actually matching that. But we are seeing defensive operations going up for Piwavsky. And let's go have a look at Don't Come Following Me. Panzer's getting pushed off. Panzer IV rushing in for the fatherland.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
And we are seeing armored doctrine up. So armor versus scorched earth. Who shall win, the Panzer Brigade? I suppose this should rather be the 4th Armored Division then, just for the fun of it. Makes more sense, I suppose. Just sometime I've seen this replay, just knew it was good. So much going on as of late, as of fear. So many things to keep track of, so I do apologize. Panzer IV moving up. Armored skirts now equipped. Ooh. Looks like an anti-tank gun is getting ready. Panzer IV moving in. Will it get the armored car? Gets off a nice hit, but of course now the anti-tank gun opens up, probably with armor-piercing rounds, doing quite a bit of damage to the Panzer IV. Gunner killed on the MX, not on the Panzer IV. Flames going off on that Panzer IV, but they're not quite managing anything. Infantry considering getting the devil away. And more booby traps going down for the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer IV has to be careful, lest it fancies getting brewed up. This might be it while the anti-tank gun sets up to sort of try and catch it. Panzer IV needs to get out of there. Oh dear, no, he's actually pushing forwards. Like a true Panzer commander, but I don't think it's the time for it. Oh dear, main gun destroyed. This could be it if the armored car gets one good hit. Oh dear, who will get it? No, the Panzer IV makes it out of there. And the shell bounces off that little piece of metal strapped to the side. Panzer is getting the anti-tank gun, getting pushed off quickly. Panzer IV making a desperate rush back for home base with not a kill to its name, but some very bad bruisings. Well, the Panzer rush 2 and 4 sort of contain things. The Americans are pushing forward pretty quickly, although certainly that caused a bit of a mix-up. Anti-tank gun has to be crewed. Second one moving in, and a second armored car on the way. Not a lot of infantry though, for don't come following me, but he's also lost quite a few engineers. Rather than getting pushed off by the Panzer Grenadier, more booby traps going off. Could they even have been booby trapping the church? Wrecking the altar vine? Booby trapping the Bible itself, knowing that any good God-fearing American will of course be trying to read from it, only to get an explosive surprise. Anyways, oh, more booby traps going off there, of course, at the victory point.
After one of our munitions points.
Now that's better. Up 5 by 5.
Armored cars moving out for the hunt. Spotting a lone Kettenkrad like out of a horror movie. It bursts through the mists. And that Kettenkrad desperately tries to get out of there, but of course a damaged engine just like in any good horror movie. Except of course there's no Kettenkrads in horror movies, but still, you know, crippled, wounded. The hunter moves in for its prey. But the Americans are taking some losses. And there we go, the final kill. No! Trying to get through a ditch. But it shall avail you nothing. In the Comedy Furious feature horror movie, and there we go, Kettenkrad down. The Greyhound, available in cinemas now. And yes, I seem to be a bit hyperactive at the moment. My apologies again if that's not your fancy. Panzer reinforcing, going for the Kampfgruppe company upgrade. Could he be going for expert repairs? Panzer Schrecks. Panzer IV rising in, right into a trap. It's a trap, Piwavsky. Don't go in there. Oh dear, I just keep going at it, don't I? Panzer IV veers off on another path, trying to catch some riflemen, down to 3 riflemen. That's not good. But a quick retreat, and Panzers get caught by both armor cars with 50 caliber machine guns and 37mm guns, getting suppressed. Too much heavy machine gun fire. Rückzug, Männer. It looks like the American commander is getting most of the map. He's in fact going for... No, he's not going for an observation post. Actually looked like it was. BARs have been equipped as well, really increasing the anti-infantry firepower. And looks like the anti-tank guns actually pulling away. This could open up for Piwavsky and a push. Perhaps getting one of those anti-tank guns as they're moving away. Machine gun upgraded on the Panzer IV. Panzer Kampfwagen 4. Could he be catching those Greyhound armored cars? He's hoping to do so, but anti-tank guns, of course, could ambush it. And then the Panzer IV decides it has better things to do. Hooray. Panzer goes holding up. No Panzer checks for them. At this point, it hasn't actually been taken, but apparently Piwavsky is finally getting around to it. Greyhound's moving in. Panzer Grenadier down. They will need to retreat, trying to booby trap, but they are not quite succeeding. Panzer IV once more rushing, but again, it's not really the fastest armored tank. So, I mean, in that sense, it's going to be a problem for Piwavsky to react with it, because then by the time that happens, hey, the Greyhounds are gone.
We're good to go.
What are my coordinates?
Oh, it managed to catch one of the anti-tank guns. Will he be able to get it? Oh, he ran into another anti-tank gun. This is a problem, and they're blocking the path. They're blocking. Oh, dear. And he locks it down, decides to perhaps at least that way do as much damage, saves, and go down in a blaze of Wehrmacht glory. Trying to get that other anti-tank gun. Will he succeed? And no, Panzer IV goes down. The Greyhound scored a kill. Piwavsky is down 1 Panzerkampfwagen 4. Not really an auspicious start.
Grenades have arrived. We're losing a munitions.
And he's now with nothing to actually stop those armored cars. He has no Panzer Schrecks, no anti-tank half-tanks, no Panzer IV, no Hetzer, no Marder, no Jagdpanther, no Panther. And now the Greyhounds are free to roam. Oh, grenade! Ow! Panzer Grenadier squad down. That was unfortunate. Armored cars rushing in after the rest, and again, he has nothing to stop them. Piwavsky, what are you doing? What is going through your Germanic little head? Boob traps are going off. Oh, very close for those riflemen.
Composition B is in. Troops can now make sticky bombs.
Well, this is definitely not going well for the 106th Panzer Brigade Feldherrnhalle. But they shall return, I hope. Otherwise, those are going to be some very boring 20 to 30 minutes. But quickly moving out, counter-attacking. Dual M8 scaled pretty well versus P, obviously. Ooh, a bit of a disagreement. A bit of discussion here on the sort of practicalities of doctrinal choices. Pointing out that armor is rather good at beating Scorched Earth, you know, Scorched Earth lacking any sort of anti-tank assets. Panzer IV, they're moving out. And I would also definitely say, you know, be careful about choosing a doctrine that early, but clearly don't come following me. It's doing my job. Stop doing that! Next you'll tell him to... I know. Stop wasting away troops. Get mines. Discussion of the Panzer IV. P4 sucks, P4 rocks. Way too slow. That's personally also why I use the Hotchkiss. It's fast. And it's got rockets. It's not fast because of the rockets. Panzer IV getting repaired. Panzer is getting ready. So not really looking all zippity-doo-dah for Piwavsky at the moment. Let's in fact go back to him. He seems to be sort of gathering up for a Panther battle group. He's floating an ungodly amount of manpower. Panzer attacks are on the way.
Stores are under attack.
Booby trap goes off. Oh, heavy losses for the riflemen. One even caught on fire, ran around in pain and horror. Anti-tank gun getting repaired. Looks pretty solid for don't come following me. Never use it. Panzers push away the riflemen. Good solid force there. Although these Panzers up in the north are in a bit more trouble. They need support. Infanterieunterstützung. Panzer IV moving in, but the Greyhound's already there.
Is available to take the field.
Now the Panzer Schrecks, but will Piwavsky get any tank busters? Or what will he do with them? That's 22. Greyhound coming under fire. Panzer is going down as well. Oh dear. It looks like some riflemen went down there. Oh dear, that's a bit of a blow there, so don't come following me. Though clearly with that Panzer IV down before, that's not really good either. But at least some progress made here, but of course, no, he's not reacting to that. He's not rushing in an armor car to deal with that, interestingly enough. But he is laying down Greyhound mounts right down the center. That is good. Greyhound mounts are very powerful. And of course, knowing that Piwavsky has no cannon gravity, he's not likely to spot them, meaning they can do a lot of damage. So again, very good there. Also note, you can actually have someone booby trap a point while you're taking it. So, you know, you don't have to wait for someone to finish taking a point. You know, just booby trap it and then have the other one finish taking the point. And we are seeing the Panzer command going up. I'm pretty sure Piwavsky is going for the Panthers, but he's lacking the fuel to feed his Panther dreams. Panzer IV moving in, blowing up engineers, well he's trying to. Greyhounds moving in, anti-tank and opening up, doing quite a bit of damage. Engineers taking heavy losses. In fact, an entire engineer unit goes down to that Panzer IV.
Rejoice, Panzer. Roadblocks are now at our disposal.
Task complete. Build complete.
Panzer is ready. Now he's actually getting an anti-tank half-tank after he said he doesn't get them. Piwavsky. You lie. I'm startled, surprised, shocked. How could you deceive your opponent? Who does that? I mean, deceive your opponent. Have you no honor, Piwavsky? I trusted you. Well, not really. I never trust anyone except myself. Mostly. Panzer still moving in, and again, riflemen in a bit of trouble there. Booby traps going off, killing quite a few as well, I suppose. More booby traps. Oh, one caught right in fire there. Another. Oh, he's flying through the air. And these riflemen quickly got pushed off once more. And the anti-tank half-tank moves up to support, like a light assault gun thing. Vorwärts, Männer. And the rather large force of Don't Come Following Me hiding, ready to pounce. Let's speed things up again. Piwavsky moving forward. Tank deeper up. And there we go. Greyhound mount goes off, I believe, damaging the engine of the Panzer IV. No reaction from Don't Come Following Me. Seems to be taking a bit cautiously, a bit cool.
The enemy is attempting
Panzer command upgrade on the way.
300 points.
I'm definitely looking forward to the weekend with no more university for a bit. So much going on. Stuff to be done. Which I hadn't to do, and classes early in the morning, all that. Oh well. Riflemen moving out, armor cars ready, anti-tank guns ready, mines going off, and there we go. Just a shred of health left for those unfortunate Panzer Grenadiers. Again, all for 50 munitions of a Greyhound mine. Jolly good. And now we are seeing a Sherman arriving, and oh dear, Piwavsky will not have anything that can stop that. He will be undefended until he can get, and his Panzer IV just rushes into everything. Oh, poor fellow. On fire and crashing into the shed. Blowing up. Ouch. Ouch indeed. And there's not much you can do. Nice arming indeed as well. And Piwavsky's only hope currently is actually sort of keep things delayed until the might of the Panthers can possibly save him. There we go. So very close. So very close. In the meanwhile, the Panzer Brigade will have to find a delaying action until it can get its Panthers. The edge of the Panzer Brigade. Sherman ready, Greyhounds as well.
Enemy forces are attacking our petrol depot.
Points being retaken, once more Piwavsky pushed back, but there we go. Panzers ready, Panthers more specifically, Panzerkampfwagen 5, Pride of the fatherland. Second most produced tank of the Panzerwaffen, the number 1 being the Panzer IV, most produced armored vehicle, fighting vehicle, though was the Sturmgeschütz. There you go, booby traps going off. Raven here getting assaulted by some Panzers, no attempt at suppressive volleys though. Panthers moving in, had to be careful, of course, anti-tank guns could be ready to receive them, or there could be booby traps, all sorts of nasty business, but the Panthers continue. Charging forwards. 106th Panzer Brigade was led by the venerable Dr. Franz Beeke, who formerly had led the Schwerer Panzerregiment Beeke on the Eastern Front, doing some pretty severe and intense fighting, particularly during the Korsun Pocket, which was also known as the Cherkasy Pocket, where he led the Schwerer Panzerregiment Beeke, which I've already mentioned, which comprised pretty much half of all, or if not most of, all the heavy armor on the entire Eastern Front, that is the Tigers, plus a lot of Panthers. I mean, he was pretty much with the unique formation right there, and did quite a lot of damage to it. Thing was, though, he was sort of used to fighting the Russians, so when he came to the Western Front, he made a lot of mistakes and got beaten up pretty badly, because it didn't help that his troops were not that well trained. But still, more tales from the Eastern Front. I suppose Pershing has arrived from Don't Come Following Me. Another problem for Piwavsky, but of course 2 Panthers is going to... Oh! Greyhound mine goes off, killing a Panzer Grenadier squad. Panzer is trying to repair, but of course they have to be careful. Sherman moving up, Panzer Grenadiers will be exposed. Panthers firing away.
We have eliminated the enemy once more.
Sherman, Pershing quite in good condition. Panthers getting repaired. Small excursion right up there. Greyhounds on the move. Trying to do some damage here. And there. But it looks like the Panthers are in all right condition, of course. Yes, there we go. No further Panthers on the way, though what might he be going for instead? A mortar half-track and another Panzer in this squad. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Boob attacks on the center victory. Point rifle moving up. Will the Panthers be able to provide protection? Rifleman getting killed. Rifleman pushed off. Ooh, he's actually getting a Panzerjäger. About time. A single Panzerjäger not going to save the world and win the war for the Wehrmacht, but of course it might still do something. And the mortar half-tank moves up there to deal with the anti-tank guns. Anti-tank gun getting hit. Oh, armor car tries to get the mortar half-tank, but the Panthers deal with that. Little problem. Bit of fighting going on here. Don't Come Follow Me holding up. Getting tank destroyers now to try and deal with this mess. And we're seeing increased squad sizes for Piwavsky. And additional Panzer Grenadier. And the Panthers moving in from the north. Ooh, ambushing and getting that armored car tank destroyer, trying to avoid that. Don't Come Following in, knowing he needs to get numerical superiority to knock it out. And Panthers pulling away.
Capable of larger squads.
All a bit quiet though. Don't Come Follow Me really trying to lay up for an armored punch. Rifleman moving in from the north. Rather looks a bit quiet, so let's speed things up while both sides get ready to push. And there we go, this could be it. The confrontation. Panzer's getting pushed away. Fully. No, never mind. Was not it. Might also be an idea to actually upgun the Sherman. Also gives the Pershing an increased penetration bonus. In that sense it could work.
You feel it, Kampfgruppe. We have the zeal.
And more booby traps.
Attacking. Kampfgruppe leers victory
Once more
point.
dodging it quite nicely. Again, this sort of little sound gives it away. Would rather seem to a bit of a dance, sort of trying to catch the other one at the right spot. I mean, this is really going to be quite the fight once it happens, but until then, both sides sort of dancing around, trying really to sort of catch the opponent in the nasty spot where you can then sort of hammer them together. Anti-tank half-tech caught. Going to be a less than fond fate. Not even trying to sort of get a trip break off. M10 though gets hit quite nicely by the Panzer squarely in the front. This could be it though. Panthers moving forward. Anti-tank guns opening up on the Panthers. Panzers with Panzers moving in. Engineers taking losses. Panzers moving forwards there. Panthers are heavily damaged though. Having rushed past those two anti-tank guns, probably with armor-piercing rounds. One anti-tank gun though down. Panthers continuing. Receiving swift repairs though from the Panzer Grenadiers. This is good. While the fight up here continues, anti-tank guns getting knocked out. Pershing trying to do its best. The Sherman nowhere to be seen, trying to support. That's a bit of a shame since that's actually effective against the infantry. Mortar half-tech got to be caught. And Armada 3 actually arrives. And there we go, half-track is down, kaput. Piwavsky being a bit sad about that. It's actually time to have a look at Don't Come Following Me, my apologies. Things are slightly hard to keep track of. But there we go, this could be it going in for the Pans, but now they have been repaired. I'm not sure if they mean that. No point in being rude. Again, increased penetration would have been nice. Panther could be going down. Panzer was trying to repair. Will they get it? Destroyed engine. And there we go. Panther down. M10 down. This might be our time to actually get away. More M10s on the way. Panther taking heavy damage, but at least one went down. Veteran 22. Marder 3 moves up from the rear. Gets off a good shot with his Pack 40 gun. Whoops, wrong angle. Pershing needs to get out of there. It's surrounded. Panther on the one side. Panzer X and Armada 3. This is not good. And this pretty much turned out to be a huge blunder for the 4th Armored Division. Lost its Pershing Sherman tank destroyers. That's usually what's called bad, and there's not a lot of infantry left either. So all of a sudden this has become quite the cemetery of armor. And I believe this is more or less it, but let's continue to see more if there might be something happening. Pershing number 2 getting called in. Speeding up again. Yes, I know there's a lot of speeding up in this game. Thought it had some interesting bits. Might be wrong, of course.
The enemy is after our victory point.
My apologies for sound a bit distant. I'm a bit tired now.
Forward supply lines are broken.
But been some interesting engagements. Pretty aggressive starts from either. Then they sort of got worn down, and Piwavsky's sort of Panzer IV bit didn't quite work out for him.
We're all reinforced.
Oh well, I hope Shell don't come follow me come out of this one. He's taking some brutal beatings. I mean, it's not that Piwavsky hasn't taken a flashing or two, but I mean, he's come out quite better in terms of overall unit strength. Of course, he could certainly do with more Panthers. Or at least keep that Marder 3 very closely supporting that Panther. And of course, Panzers with larger squads are going to be a bit of a problem there for Don't Come Following Me's infantry. In particular, once they get more and more veterancy. Another tank destroyer arriving. Slightly damaged engine is getting pushed away by a solid assault by Piwavsky. Let's return to him. Rifleman once more dodging the booby traps. Panther moving in against that Pershing, trying to get it. It's in fact Panther slipped into 2. And looks like Don't Come Following Me is basically just trying to sort of achieve a certain critical mass using tank destroyers and a Pershing. Try to blocking his way through, not unusual. Though not always effective. Mind you. Not always effective. Let's just continue the sort of speeding out of this.
Battle groups are now the enemy has moved against one of Germany's victory points.
Having a bit of trouble. Pushing towards the center. Bit of a staggered move. Oh dear, we are seeing Allied war machine going up. That's not necessarily going to help. And the Pershing is... oh dear, they're just getting hit from every side. Caught in between. And Armada 3 as well. This is not good. Tank destroyers going down. And they're focusing all of the fire on the veteran Panther. That was probably the last thing they were supposed to fire at. Of course, some changes have been replaced, but this is... yeah, I think this is pretty much the end. GG. Game over. What can we learn from this? I mean, we saw some rather aggressive stats from either player. I mean, Piwavsky did have a pretty weak start, you know, scorched earth against armor. And the Panzer 4 didn't really work well against all those Panzer 4s. But I think the problem was that Don't Come Following Me wasn't quite enough actually sort of really follow through, make some good pushes, medic stations, medic mines, well, more than Greyhound mounts and such. He was hanging a bit back too much. And definitely that poor engagement down here, where he sort of waited to actually get them, is probably what lost him this game. I mean, that engagement pretty much defined this entire match and allowed Piwavsky to pretty much irreversibly come back and turn things around. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Danger. Cheers.